Cheers. Orange squash. You can't really see it there, can you? But I'm going to get lots of questions about have I still managed to give up drinking. Good evening, guys. Welcome to the stream. Nice to have you here. As you can see, I'm all on my own. Billy, no mates. No, Marley's sitting next to me. She should be here, but she's not here. What I'll do, I'll explain while she's not here. We've had a bit of a meeting, a bit of a directors meeting, Marley and I, and we've come to a decision. So I'll tell you a little bit about that when we've got a few more in. But a big hi to those who are in already. 107 people here. That's what I like to see. And I guess it's in the UK, it's about 3 p.m. in the afternoon. It's 9 o'clock here in sunny Bangkok, and all is well in the world, as they say. Right, let's start saying hi to everyone. First of all, Mr. Trump, how are you, sir? First of the pack. Ryan Seeger, good evening. Vinny, I was quite interested by your later message, Vinny. I'll read that out as well later. Okay. Good evening, everyone. Hang on, where's my mouse? Vinny, I finally touched down this past Sunday for my biannual pilgrimage. Good stuff. And then this is a message I was looking at. You said, still feels like the first time after I've set foot here 6 years ago. So I guess you mean Thailand. Are you in Thailand right now? Because I've been gone for about 4 years. So I don't think you mean on the stream. I'll tell you what, before we start, I've got to say hi to a couple of people. I've got to say hi to Noel, the blind man. I don't know if he's listening, but he does like a shout out. He can't watch, obviously. He's blind, but he does like to listen to the stream. So, Noel, if you're out there, mate, all the best coming to you live from Bangkok. And I want to say hi to a guy called Ivan, very kind guy. I feel a bit sorry for him, a little bit selfish in a way, because the guy's been trying to meet up with me for the last sort of 3 or 4 days, and I haven't been putting him up. But what's happened is the timing's just been wrong. Every time he contacts me, I'm busy. And yesterday, I sent him an email. And what I meant to say in the email was I could probably meet you today at 5 p.m. at Hooters in Soy 4. But the message, I didn't write it properly. So the next message I got from him was, I'm in Hooters. I'm wearing a blue shirt and a white cap. And I'm like, what are you doing there? It's only Thursday. But it was obviously my mistake. So I apologized to him. But I was trying to be flexible. I did try and meet him, but unfortunately it didn't work out. But the guy, very, very kind of him. He brought me 2 cans of deodorant because deodorant is very expensive here. I didn't ask him. He just brought it, some brute. And he sent me a message. He sent me a photograph and said it's waiting for you in reception in Soy 12 in a hotel. Forget the name of it. But I went out to eat tonight, and I did a U-turn around Ascot, come back, went into Soy 12, and sure enough, the 2 cans of after deodorant were wrapped up behind the counter. So, Ivan, thank you very, very much for that. I'm sorry we didn't get to meet this time. And hopefully when you come here the next time, it's not, like I've said lots and lots of times, it's not that I don't want to meet people, but it just depends what I'm doing. And especially the weekend. Saturdays is my busiest day of the week because I'm preparing the stories all day. And then obviously I've got the live stream at 9 and the members live stream at 10:45. So it really is a full day. And those stories do take all day. Okay, so Ivan, yeah, thank you for that. Let me say hello to everybody else. A few familiar faces in here, a few familiar names. 20 Rothmans, hi to you. Innovations, good to all, glad to be in the house. Hi, Innovations. Right, this is quite an interesting one. Luxury vegan travel. Hey, Peter, watched your video last night, and I have the exact same issue with booze. After watching, I too did not drink last night, and I'll try to stop for a bit and see how it goes. So let me talk a little bit about that. So if you were here last week, you'll know I decided to give up drinking because I was drinking too much. I mean, I was drinking probably 3 to 4 not pints, 3 to 4 400 ml cans of Leo a night, plus about a third a bottle of whiskey. And I don't drink in the daytime, but I just settled down about 9 o'clock, Netflix on, nobody to nag me like before. And I'm just enjoying a drink, but it's become a bad habit. So I gave up drinking 10 days ago, and I didn't touch it for 9 days. And last night, I won't lie to you, I'll be honest with you, I give some to the security guard because I had some bottles of whiskey. I gave some of that away, still had some here. And I had a few bottles of Leo in the cupboard here. I took them out of the fridge because I didn't want to drink them. And then yesterday, it was 9 days, and I thought, you know what? I'm going to try a drink just to see if it still feels the same. And I poured a beer, and the first mouthful last night was really good. After that, it was crap. It tasted like shit, right? And then normally, the first drink of the day, I enjoy a glass of whiskey, a good measure. And the one I'm drinking at the moment, or I'm not drinking, but I was drinking, is Dua's White Label, which I found was quite good. And I put a very, very small measure in a glass last night, expecting it to be kind of like throat burner. This is nice. And I'm like, do you know what? It tasted like I was poisoning myself. It was awful, really awful. And I didn't even drink that much. So that's good, because after 9 days, I've decided, it's not for me, the booze. I'm going to carry on not drinking. It was just a kind of little exercise last night to see if I'd really still attached to the alcohol. And as I say, the beer was nice, the first mouthful, and after that, it didn't do anything for me. Guys, can you bear with me, because I'm sweating away here. Let me just deal with this. Sorry about that. It's my aircon. It's got kind of a double setting, which I haven't worked out. It's either absolutely freezing, I'm constantly turning it up, or it's really hot like I am now. I'm starting to bleed. Better to get it out of the way and sort it out. I thought I'd sorted it out already, but anyway, that's done. So yeah, luxury vegan travel. Stick with it, because there are a lot of benefits from not drinking. I'm not going to preach here, but I'll tell you something. I've been on a tablet for 25 years. It's because I was getting acid. It's called reflux. Okay. And I take one tablet a day and I don't get the acid. And if I don't take that tablet, within 30 hours, I get bad acid, right? Well, I read on the internet when I was, because I've given up drinking, what happens to the body after 7 days, what happens after 14 days, what happens after 28 days, just to make myself feel better. And one of the things it said is after 7 days, your stomach has already repaired the lining to the point that if you've got acid, you won't get it anymore. And I thought that seems a bit too good to be true. So one morning I didn't take the tablet, and honest to God, the next day I never had any acid. I've taken it today, the tablet, because I had a little bit of alcohol last night. But that's it now. I've knocked it on the head, and we'll see. And what a great result. 25 years on medication, 1 week off the booze, and I could stop that medication completely. Brilliant. Jim, how you doing, mate? Good to have you in. Sent you the old Indian video once again tonight. The food. I dare say we'll do another stunt in there. You're off to the Philippines tonight. You'll enjoy that. Good to see you in. Shane, old traveller, as always, regular there. Good to see you in, Shane. Max Vite, how you doing? Hi, Max and all. You're not out on the old deliveries this afternoon, then, Max. I heard the weather is very, very nice in the UK at the moment. Just get some more of this orange squash down me. Right. Who else we got in here? I'm a bit behind in in the comments, but not to worry. Lathe Malika, I can't wait for the stream. Yeah, thanks for that. Crypto Chris Card, how you doing? Mad 67. Hello, hello, hello. What's going on then? Graham Hawkins, good evening, Peter and all. Rio Rennie, greetings, gentlemen, from a very pleasant Rio de Janeiro. Sounds very romantic. Bamboo, good evening, Peter and Mongers. Nomyai Inspecting, good evening. Brian, how you doing, Brian? I've just answered your email, Brian, but it was short and sweet because I literally had a few minutes till I was going to start the stream. And you might have noticed, okay, these glasses are probably a bit annoying for you because they glare, and I have gone out and tried to get anti-glare onto them, but they just don't get it, Right, Javier, good evening, everyone. Hope you're doing well. Pupmaster, hello, Peter. Hello, Marley. Well, Marley's not here tonight. Let me get to the end of this lot of comments and I'll tell you why she's not here. Jess, how you doing, mate? Good to have you in. Nice pictures there that you sent me yesterday. XX Slide Boy, woohoo. I know a joke like that. Trip on two wheels. Peter Pumpkin Eater. What was a joke? I know something similar to that. It's I can't remember it. Is it Snow White? No, I can't remember it. Right, Dean San, good evening. How you doing? Philip Bradshaw, good morning from Houston, Texas. Yeah, I wonder what time is it? Because I always, I'm used to doing my streams in the evening, and I kind of forget it's not all evening all around the world, is it? So you say good morning, so obviously it's morning in Houston. Right, Anders Bergman, hi everybody. Bob Gray, hi Peter and everyone. Stephen Roberts, good evening everyone from Nakhon Sai. I'm not going to pronounce that, am I, Steve? Thamara. I'm really bad at. I've just learned how to say Sawanapon. I was struggling with that. I'm really bad with Thai pronunciation, but I do anyway. Good to have somebody in who's actually watching from Thailand. Steve the Butcher, hi Peter and all mongers. Kev 12345 Rio Rene. I've been to Rio a few times. Stay in where's that? Stay in Lanjura somewhere. Okay, let me just while I'm reading these out. The pound's doing quite well at the moment. We're up to 45 baht to the pound. Yoo-hoo. Lumpini Live, great move to stay off grog, less issues in life, enjoy walking and look forward to magnificent food options. Yeah, with regards, I won't go on about it all night, but with regards to giving up alcohol, what I found, I didn't actually miss the alcohol. It's not like, oh, I need a drink, I need a drink. It was kind of like habit, you know. It's like you do certain things and it's like you go for a drink. And when you can't have that drink, it's really, you just have to break that habit. For me, the worst was my sleep pattern because I'm a heavy drinker, or I was a heavy drinker. The first 3 or 4 nights were terrible. I mean, I just had so much broken sleep. I couldn't get to sleep when I went to bed. Oh, then I was so tired. I was sleeping on the sofa for a couple of hours in the afternoon, and your whole chemistry of your brain goes haywire, and it has to get used to it. But you know, you stick with it. After by day 4 or 5, you start to settle down. And I'm sleeping quite well now. The problem is I'm sleeping too much because a lot of sugar is missing from my body. My body's craving sugar because when you drink 3 or 4 beers a night, there's a lot of sugar in alcohol. When you suddenly stop, your body's like, hey, what are you doing to me? So yeah, but you know, once you get over that, the first initial 3 or 4 days where you can't, you know, the sleep, it was horrible, but I'm okay now. Um, Okay, I'm jealous of you, Javier. I'm just drinking when I'm mongering around patio. For me, it's part of the fun. Back at home is all about being healthy and keeping good shape. Well, that's really, really good, and I wish I could do that. I know a lot of people who do that. I've never been able to do it. There's no grey areas with me. I either drink or I don't drink. There's no sort of like, well, I'll have a drink at the weekend, Monday to Friday, I won't touch it, or when I go to patio, I have a drink, but when I'm in Bangkok, I won't touch it. It's either I drink or I don't drink, and when I drink, I really drink. Boohoo! Good evening to you. Um, Trip on two wheels is exactly 12 hours earlier here in Texas. Okay, brilliant. So it's 12 o'clock noon. Right, Ryan Seeger, your glass of squash is looking like the alien at a predator on the green screen. Well, I can assure you it is actually orange, but like you say, it's a green screen. Is there any way to? No, I can't. Orange squash. Right. Oh, okay. Brian says it's not me sending you emails. Okay, you've got somebody else called Brian Smith writes. Brian Street writes to me. Charles Saunders. Good evening, Peter and moderate. Yeah, talking to moderators. Are you out there, Franco, or Damon? I don't think Damon will be there because it's a bad time of the day for him. He's out shopping on a Saturday afternoon. Toby Price. Hello from Chonburi. Let me just get rid of this. Where are we? Where are we? Put that up a bit later on there. Okay. Right. Right, luxury vegan travel. Peter, you'll lose loads of weight again like last year. Yeah, that'd be good. I feel so lethargic, you know. It's the old stomach interferes with everything. Gary Russell, hi Peter, up in Udong now. Okay, good stuff. Right, let me just check that that's Franco because I just gave a call out and he will text me if it's him. If it's anybody else, I won't answer. Uh, oh yeah, Franco. Yes, I'm hiding. Okay, good stuff. Right, all right, Franco, how you doing? If I see your picture there, I'll put you up. Craig, all or nothing like me. Craig, all or nothing like me. Two of them. Right, innovations. When you go out, what is your beverage of choice now? Well, I don't go out very often, but if I go out and I'm drinking, this is pre last week. I drink just drink regular beers. What's the one the yellowy looking beer? They put the lime on the top of it. It's reduced calories. Beck's, is it? Beck's Light? No, it's not Beck's Light. Can't remember which one it is. Somebody will tell me here. But I generally drink that. And then at night, I find it very difficult for them to get the whiskey just right because I normally have like whiskey, Diet Coke, something like that. So what I do, I just make it simple. I say vodka tonic. But like I said, I don't go out too much. Okay, Tim G, where's Marley? Let's talk about that now. So, all right, I had, I brought Marley in about 6 weeks ago, and I wasn't sure the direction which way I would go with her, and I wasn't sure what would work and what wouldn't work. So I've had a chat with Marley. We went yesterday. We just went down to make a video in that market where the train goes through the middle of it. We went down there. I know it's been done 100 times. It's been done to death, but Marley and I did it in a different way. It's a kind of we made the video very light-hearted, and we've got the outtakes at the end, and it's a kind of fun video, so it's not very serious. You do see the train coming through the market, but Marley and I did it in our own way. But yeah, good question. So what we decided is the problem is I can't bring Marley back to my apartment here. Okay, I don't want to get into it, but I can't bring her back here. We're not boyfriend girlfriend. There's nothing going on, so it's strictly work on YouTube. Now, when I brought her in at the beginning, I wasn't sure where she would fit into the channel. And okay, and I've had some negative and a lot of positive. People said I didn't like her in the streams at the beginning, but now she's growing on me. But the thing is, I thought about it and I've talked about it with Marley, and we both feel that she does really well on the videos. So when we've done Suvarnabhumi Airport, Chinatown, IT Fortune, and now the Market Railway, those videos I can edit, so if there's something she doesn't understand and she says, what, and I have to repeat it, I can edit that out of the video so that the video flows and I can put music over the top of it. And both of us, Marley and I, feel like the videos are the way to go for the pair of us, but she's not really, I don't think the live streams are right for her right now. I'm not going to cut her out all the time. I mean, originally she was in every week, then I cut her down to every other week, and she wasn't doing so many outside videos. But she, I asked her yesterday, and she said she's not so comfortable doing the live streams because obviously English isn't her number one language. I speak fairly quickly. That when I'm speaking to you guys, the flow of the comments is going quite quickly. I'm answering, I'm moving on to the next one, and she can get a little bit hung up with not getting everything, and then obviously when we have to stop I have to stop and explain something to her. Some guys get annoyed it's not flowing. There was another guy said to me, he said, look, it's like, I used to look forward to it. It's like a guy's kind of thing, but it's now what it is, it's like a load of guys meet in a bar and then suddenly one of the guys brings his girlfriend to the bar. It's not the same. I get that. But there is a lot of people who have taken to Marley now and they've said, yeah, she's grown on her. So, I'm it's taken a long time to explain something simple. But what I'm trying to say is for now, what Marley and I have both decided is that we're going to do a lot more videos outside, like proper videos, and the live streams I'll bring her in as a guest appearance, maybe once a month, once every 6 weeks, I'm not sure, but the every other week isn't really working. So for now, I'm going to do the live streams by myself. The other thing about the live streams, it's very comfortable when I can sit in my apartment. I'm in my apartment now, the aircon's on, I got my glass of orange squash here, the bathroom's there, so it's very comfortable. Last week we were sat in a coffee shop, we were getting bitten to death by mosquitoes. It's not very nice, it's not very convenient to do it. Okay, so Marley's going to be doing a lot more videos with me and a bit less of the live streams, and we'll see how that goes. And we can always be flexible and we can change that around again, but she's happy with the arrangement, and I'm really happy with it because I'm getting to see more of Thailand that I should be doing, because on my own sometimes I can't get motivated. So I'm thinking, oh, it'd be a good idea to go to the Market Railway. But then I think, oh, I can't be bothered. But I've got a car, so it's so easy. Well, it took us an hour and a half. So next, depending on when Marley's off, because she does a lot of her own work, we plan to drive to Ayutthaya. That's the old capital of Thailand. And it's basically about an hour north, a little bit more. The highway is very good. It's about an hour north of Bangkok, and you just head up to Dong Muang Airport and you just keep going. We intend to video the old city, and so there'll be. I'm trying to appeal to a broader audience. I'm happy with the audience I've got. I'm just knocking on the door of 50,000 now. Not the biggest channel out there, but I'm happy with what's happening. And but I do want to appeal to a bigger audience, and I just feel if I start doing those videos where I'm, out at the railway market, Ayutthaya, all these locations, and it will attract a different, more people into the channel. It's not to say I'm going to abandon my current subscribers, of course not. I'm still going to do the regular stuff, but that's why Marley isn't here tonight. And you can let me know what you think. She's a nice girl, she's a lot of fun, she's bubbly, she's really good for the channel. I'm lucky to have her, but we're going to go out and do the videos a lot more than the live streams. Okay, let's see what you guys think about it. So Tim G, you're saying yes, Marley is good on the videos. It's she's not dead, Steve the Butcher. It's a shame. I thought Marley was brilliant. As I say, she's not like it's not like she's never going to do a stream again. She will, but just not every 2 weeks. Right, let's get on with it. Hi Pete, do you have an accountant in Thailand? I've been in Thailand for 4 months now and looking at staying here. I've been told after 6 months you need to pay tax on income you bring into Thailand. Well, I'll tell you what I'll do. Let's get it on. I don't really want to get into my personal affairs too much on a public forum, but if you write to me, oh no, not that one. If you write to me, there's my email address. You can pause it and rewind it and all the rest of it. If you write to me and ask me the same question, I'll answer you. Okay, I don't like I say, I don't want to get into my personal bits and pieces here, but I will answer that question if you write to me. Okay, Dino Jay, is it? I think you made the right choice. Marley is good on location vids. Most people like just you on the streams. Oh, thank you so much. Let me just advertise, do a bit of advertising here, because there are some guys who like this. Like if you just read that thing there, like the one-on-ones. Right. Yeah, let me put that up there. I think you didn't make the right choice. Marley is good on the location videos. Most people like you on just on the stream. Well, a lot of people do like Marley now, but it's the language thing, isn't it? Her English is pretty good, but on a live stream, you've got to keep it flowing. It's got to be flowing, or it just doesn't work. I'm not going to name names, but I have had one or two people I know very, very well who said, "No, it's not for me. I preferred it before." Right, luxury vegan travel. I look forward to your exploring videos. Yeah, absolutely. And what people say to me sometimes, they say, "Oh, that video, that if we go to visit somewhere, oh, it's been done to death. Everyone's done it. Everyone's made a video of it." Yeah, okay, they might have done, but the thing is, I've got a YouTube channel, and I'd never done the railway market. I'd never done Suvarnabhumi Airport. I'd never done the IT fortune market. I'd never done Chinatown. I've done them now, and I think they're different on my channel to they are on a lot of other channels. So everybody brings their own personality to the video, don't they? And now that I've got Marley, she's great on the videos. She's really great. I'll be releasing it's up there now, but I haven't released it. I'm going to release it tomorrow for members, the railway market. But it's a fun video. It's really funny with Marley. She's so funny. I'm going to release that tomorrow for the members and probably Wednesday for everybody else. Okay, right. Casey McLeod, enjoyed you brought some guys on stream. Yeah. Well, we can do that again. If there's anybody, that's more of the members stream because I've got to be very, very careful. Because when you bring people into the stream, people can start shouting and swearing and all sorts. So, yeah, I mean, in the members stream, we'll see if there's anybody. I'll tell you who I might get in tonight if he's game for it. Oh, Franco. I spoke to him on the phone tonight. I might bring him in just to say hello. And if you're up for it, Franco, we'll do it on the members stream, not the regular stream. And it's not because I'm, trying to take away something from everybody else. It's just I'm a bit more confident in the member stream because most people in the member stream, they're paid to be there, haven't they? So they're not going to start, guys come along here and they start trolling me. Casey McLeod, enjoyed you brought some guys on the stream. Yeah, that's okay. That's what we were just talking about. Namyong's Inspector, good idea. Jesse, how you doing, mate? Jesse, I know it's a very small photograph, but I know it's the same Jesse I've been talking to online because your picture is virtually the same, just a different car. Good to have you in. Yeah, I feel the same here. Okay, good. Right. D Full Cup, first time catching the live, but watch nearly every story. Thanks for what you do. Yeah, and the story that came out today, I'd said, look, I'm going to cut it down to 20 minutes, and I read them today for next week, and it's 35 minutes again. It's really hard to control the time. Okay, Dino J, how was Patia last week? Any more whiskey stories? No, no more whiskey stories, but I'll tell you one story that's quite interesting. I met a guy down there who owns a few bars, and he told me he had stage 1 cirrhosis of the liver, but he still drinks, but he's not a hardcore drinker, as in bottles of whiskey every day. What he does enjoy a beer. So if he goes to somebody's barbecue, he'll have 1 or 2 beers. I went out for dinner with him when I was down there. A nice guy bought me dinner, treated me, which was nice, and had a steak in the Pattaya Beer Garden. Wasn't that expensive, 400 baht actually. I thought it was very, very good. And I did say to him, I said, "Aren't you worried? You're drinking, you got cirrhosis. It's that would scare me." And when I came back, oh my God, I had that Indian again tonight. It's coming repeating on me. When I came back to Bangkok, I talked to him quite often online and what have you. I talked to a lot of people online, and I said, yeah, I've given up drinking. And I said, that story about your liver scared me. And way and behold, 2 days later, he wrote to me and said, I haven't had a drink for 5 days. He's actually knocked it on the head as well. So good. That's really good. Maybe we can start a giving up alcohol week for everybody here. It was patio, yeah. It was really quiet. Patio is never dead. Like I said to you last week, people will come onto street right on forum and say, "Oh, there's nobody in patio. It's absolutely dead. There's no one there." Well, of course, patio is never ever dead where there's nobody there. There's always people flying into patio. They're not only from the west, from India, China, all the rest of it. So it's never dead. But yeah, it was really quiet. I noticed, like I'll give you an example. Where was I? Yeah, just walking down Walking Street. It was busy, but it wasn't absolutely bumping like it normally was. We went into that frog place. It's called the Frog Complex. I think a couple of guys have done some videos on it down there, and we were fairly early in there. It was about 9 o'clock, but it was really quiet. There couldn't have been more than, I don't know, a dozen people in there in the whole of the complex. But that was 9 o'clock. I had one drink and left. So some people, I quite like it like that. It's low season now. It's July, and I quite like it when it's quiet down there. I don't really like it when it's absolutely jam packed. Some people do, some people don't. Right, Martin Ryder, this has come up a few times. Have you ever met the Eyes of Owen enjoying his videos? I've heard of him. I've never seen him. No, I've never met him. I've never watched his videos. Um, the thing is, when you've got a YouTube channel, you don't really have time to go off and watch lots of YouTube videos. And when I do, like if I'm like today, when I finish at midnight, I'll take the green screen down behind me, and I might kick back for half an hour. The last thing I want to do is watch videos about Thailand from YouTubers who are here. I want to go on and watch a bit of history, or, something about, those Karens that start and throw things around McDonald's and stuff like that, something entertaining. Um, okay. Right. Expat Moscow. Is it possible to marry two Thai women under Thai law? No, it is not. You marry two Thai women, you'll end up in the Bangkok Hilton. No, it's one man, one woman, one woman. I think you want to go to the Middle East. That's where I think they can have four out there. Dutch Frank, expat more, good question. No, right, okay, who's this? The name I can never pronounce because it's in, I don't know what's in. Is that Russian? Right, hi Peter, catching you all the way from an undisclosed location down. It's the same message every week, isn't it? Downtown Magadesh, where I serve the Lord, preaching gospel. Thank you. Okay, you might as well leave that there for every week because it's exactly the same message. Right, Richard, Mali is awesome. Yep, no doubt of that. Javier Lopez, Peter, have you considered to do a podcast, perhaps with a couple of guys out there in Bangkok, talking about different topics regarding Thailand? I really don't want to take on any more work, because you probably look at my channel and you think, well, he only does a live stream once a week and he puts out one or two videos. He doesn't really do much, but I do, because I do everything by myself. And, I just don't want to take on any more work, because it's like today, for instance, I got up, I was on the PC here, 10 p.m. I got off at 5 p.m. Okay, apart from a cup of coffee, right, 10 minutes. But I was basically on here from 10 p.m. till 5 p.m. Went out and had a bit of dinner, come back, did another hour or so. Now I'm going to be on here till after midnight. Sunday's the only day I try not to work. That's the one day I try not to work now, because I might go over to Simon's tomorrow on the scooter, because I enjoy that, and have a bit of roast over his. But yeah, it's a great idea. But for the moment, Javier, no, I just don't want to do anything more. Jess, hey Peter, going to show some of the contrasts of the city, like the CBD, and then a place like Klong Toi would be cool, yeah. Or maybe some obscure things like the ghost ship in Trap Province, yeah. Yeah, I mean, a lot of these things I don't know about. So if you've got any ideas, yeah, let me know, and I'll look what the feasibility. I mean, if I'm like, most of the videos outside now, we'll be doing with Mali. But if we go somewhere we've got to stay overnight, for instance, say we did a video on Koh Larn, I'm not going to do a video on Koh Larn, because that is one that's been done to death, right? Koh Larn has been done by every single YouTuber in Thailand, but it won't be done by me. If I went down there with Marley, for instance, and we were going to do Koh Chan, I'd have to pay for a hotel for us. So it'd be 2 rooms, so it's double the expense. So it all depends. I don't make like shed loads of money here on YouTube. Like, there's guys who have got 200-300, well, even more. I know one guy's got 500,000 subscribers here in Bangkok. Did you hear about that guy? I forget his name, but he got arrested because he was doing a lap dance in a hotel, and either him or his girlfriend were wearing lingerie. And they said today he was earning something like I think it was $85,000 a month. He's got so many million subscribers, and basically he can't leave Thailand until they go to court. I mean, he must be gutted. But what a thing to do! Fancy, you can go off and read that story. One of the hotels, the hotel manager tried to get them out, said it was disgusting. Then they called the police. Give peace a chance. Thank you for that 40 baht. Would you rather watch a tree grow or a knee grow? Okay, not sure about that one, but thanks for the 40 baht anyway. Jess again. That's awesome, Conrad. I'm happy for you. I'm currently awaiting a visa approval to bring. Okay, you're talking to somebody else. Yeah, talking to knees, I'm still having a lot of problems with my knee. I've got the hospital I go to at Med Park on the Rama 4. They quoted me 40,000 baht, £1,000, $1,200 for these two tests that I've got to have done, because I've had all the blood tests, the urine tests, all my organs come back normal. They can't figure out. They said it could be a blood clot in my leg, and then the doctor looked at it and she said she don't think it's a blood clot, but there's a couple of tests they want me to take to see if it's a varicose vein, or there's 2 tests to do with the legs. They're quite in-depth. You have to use some quite expensive equipment, so they quoted me 40,000. But what she said, they're quite good there, because that's one of the best hospitals in Bangkok. It's only been open 2 years. It's like Bumrungrad, one, like people with money go there. And she said to me, look, I know it's a lot of money, but if you want to have it done somewhere else, you can have it done somewhere else and bring the results. So I went to another hospital just by Big C here, near where I live. And it's actually the hospital where my youngest daughter was born 23 years ago. It's quite a good hospital, but they quoted me about 24 to 27,000 baht for the same thing. So it's still a lot of money, but I'm hoping they'll sort it out, because it's just been a blight now. I can't do anything. If I go and do a video with Marley, I've got these painkillers that are really, really good, but you're not supposed to be on them long term. And, they're only like a short term thing, like 5 days. So what I try to do is, like, I haven't taken them today. I didn't take them yesterday. But if I go out to make a video of Marley, I pop one as soon as I go out. 3 hours later, I take another one. 3 hours later, I take another one. And at the end of the day, my knee is in agony. But I get the video done, because of these painkillers. But I really hope they sort it out. You don't realize about your health until you lose it. Right, Nomia Inspector, a few thousand baht for a threesome, don't need to get married. Okay, fair enough. Right, where are we? Kelly Harnett. Let's have a look. A guy went to see the Ring Girls at the multi-fight, and very nice. Okay, yeah. Yours, how you doing, Steve? Good to have you in. Peter, thinking of scrapping November flight, bringing it forward to the middle of September, and do a full 6 months. UK starting to depress me now after 2 Thailand trips. Well, what I'd say to that, Steve, is, I mean, I know you've got some businesses and stuff like that. If you're in a position to do it, why not? I mean, people write to me and they say, look, you're really, really lucky, Peter, that you've managed to live in Thailand, because, I've made these videos about moving out here and how happy I am. Yeah, I do miss my ex-wife. Of course I do. I was with her for 33 years. I can't just switch off like a machine. She was a good woman. It was a case of, a lot of it was my fault. Some of it was her fault. But at the end of the day, there was a long-term relationship there. So, yeah, I'm starting to miss her. But some people write to me and they say, look, actually, you're in a really good position because you've managed to up sticks, move to Thailand. You're living the life. I'm not living the life for Riley. I'm not living the dream, as it were. I mean, it's nice. It's nicer living here than in England for sure. And, but what I'd say to you, Steve, I mean, you've got businesses and stuff. I mean, if you're in a position to do it, just do it. It's a no-brainer. Why would, unless you're committed to stay in the UK because of your business or some kind of family, something with your family where you just can't stay away, then I don't see why you wouldn't do it, unless it's going to risk your business going down the pan. If you can leave it in good hands and come out here for 6 months, you've got a nice girl out here, down there in Phuket, just do it. It's a no-brainer as far as I'm concerned. There's a lot of people who'd like to be in your position who could do it, who can't afford to do it because they're working or for whatever reason they can't get away. Right, internet monster, ice poison tool bag. Not sure what that means. Dino J, he said he would neck himself if he went to jail. Ah, okay. Did he? Yeah, well, that's probably just another trying to get a few more. I bet he wouldn't. A few more subscribers. And you know what the Thai's like? They'll probably send him to jail just because he said that to see if he'll do it. Typical Thai, that is. Right, Christopher Tate. Peter, it was radically motivated play on words. Peter, it was a radically motivated play on words. Okay. I'd really like to get some more of an explanation on that because I kind of not got all of that. If you could give me a bit more detail, I'll read it out. Right, Jess. How do I get a membership? I tried to become a member, but it just takes me to the Thailand Band website, so I've never been an actual member. Right, let me put this up here because you can do it from our website, Jess. Just bear with me. Right. Okay. So that's a link to my consultants page. But if you just put in like the HTTPS thailandbound.com, you'll see a link on there that says at the top of the page, it will say members or membership, something like that. And then when you get there, it will say click here to become a member. So you can do it from there. Okay. And you can actually do it from my Thailand Bound homepage as well. When you land on the YouTube homepage, there's a really small link in the right hand corner. No, actually, it's on the top there somewhere, but it says become a member. A lot of other people have done it, about 400 actually. Right, who's left me that? Somebody's left me 100 Thai baht. Give peace a chance again. I've never, do you know? I'm not saying just making this up, but I've never. 3.5 years I've been doing this. I've never had a super chat in Thai baht before. I've had dollars and dirham and pounds and every sort of currency. I don't think I've ever had Thai baht, but all is welcome. Thank you very much. Give peace a chance. Okay. Where are we? Okay, 20 Rothmans. Martin Ryder, Lufthansa was doing a special from Norway, 1400 in business, and I saw another from Paris, about six. Paris. You want to go there? Still no sign of BA resuming flights. So okay. Um, Yeah, okay. Thomas Wynn, Thailand has the best medical facilities with the price to match. Yeah. In fact, one of the strategies of the Thai government to bring more people into Thailand, one of their strategies is to encourage medical tourism because it is very, very good medical treatment here. And of course, it's a lot cheaper than in your own country. And I do know there are people who fly from America, stay in a nice 4 or 5 star hotel in Phuket or wherever it is for a week or two, have some face work done, and then fly back after a week in the hotel, and it's still cheaper than having it done in America. But it's very, very good. I had some dental work done here, and it's second to none. It's brilliant. But you pay for it, you obviously pay for it. But I've heard the government hospitals are pretty good as well. They're very, very cheap, the government hospitals. But I've heard they're just, obviously they're not. I wouldn't say they're not as good, but there's private and there's government. There's different standards, isn't there? But I've heard the government hospitals are okay. Um, Yours travels. BA are useless and their staff are useless. Never want to do their jobs. I think that is, yeah, okay. That doesn't surprise me. BA. Stephen James, good God, your health is a mess. Please take better care. Who are you talking about? Me? My health is not a mess. I got a bad knee. That's it. All my organs are good. Thai Billy Boy, hi Pete. Knee pain is terrible. Thankfully, I have now had both knees replaced. I'm now pain free and can walk for miles. The thing is, it's not, yeah, I mean, you have knee replacements, but it's not my actual knee as in the bit that gets replaced. It's the inside of my knee, and it's to do with like a trapped nerve or a muscle or something, a cartilage, something like that. It's not the actual knee itself on the front. It's on the inside of my right knee. And if I got it on the left knee as well at the same time, I probably would need crutches. But yeah, I mean, I just can't imagine having my knees replaced. But yeah, I'm sure if you can walk for miles, good stuff. Dino J, happy for you, Billy Boy. Okay. Bob Gray says, damn, I was looking forward to seeing Marley. Okay. Well, like I say, I'll be releasing that video tomorrow for members, and then on Wednesday for everybody else. Okay, so I'm getting lots of again to give peace a chance. 200 baht, thank you very much. So let's keep a tally now. That's 340 baht. Getting there, great stuff. Thai doctors are usually clever Chinese Thais, but they don't care about patients. They push costly medicines and treatment. Well, it's a business and they make money. No Hippocratic oath in Thailand. I don't know. I've seen some pretty good doctors when I've gone to the hospital. They haven't all been Chinese. In fact, I don't think any of mine were Chinese. They were Thais. And yeah, obviously it is a business. And, there's this joke about once you go to hospital here, it's like getting on a merry-go-round. You can't go off because once you go to hospital, it's like, we'll come back in a week and we'll test you for that. And then you go back in a week and it's like, yeah, okay, well, it wasn't that. We'll come back and we'll do this and then come back and we'll do that. And, you never get off this merry-go-round. You've got to try and jump off when you can. But yeah, there are a lot of Chinese doctors here. Right. Mianoi, BA are in code share with Qatar. Cannot see them resuming flights to Bangkok again. No loss. No loss, laugh out loud. Yeah, absolutely. Martin Ryder, Win Nando's have lost. Who's that? Win Nando's have lost the plot. I'm not sure what that means, Martin. What does that mean? Win Nando's has lost the plot. Right. Anyway, if you've just joined us, good evening. 40 minutes in, we've got 250. It's nice to have you in the stream. Not a lot going on in Bangkok at the moment. Low season, July. We haven't had as much rain as you normally get this time of year, which is a good thing. But a good time to be here. Okay, Jeff, have you and Richard Barrett ever been seen in the same room or train carriage? No, absolutely, we haven't. I know Richard Barrett. Well, I don't know him. I've looked at his Facebook post. He's very much into his trains, but a bit of a strange question there, Jeff. What makes you ask that? Jay Easy, it's totally that way with hospital systems in America. Just say no if you don't need it. Okay. But the problem is you never know, do you? Because I remember here they'd say to me, well, we want to take not this time, it was something else a few years ago. They said, well, I went into hospital and they said, well, we want to take a blood test. I'm like, well, what's the test for? What do you want to take blood test for? Oh, just check everything's okay. And you think, do I really need that? It's another cost, isn't it? But then if you don't have it, will you get ill? It's a difficult one. When you're not paying, when you, like for instance in the UK when it's on the national health, it takes a long time to see the doctor and then get the test done and then get results. Maybe 6 weeks, 2 months. I mean, the good thing about here, you'll go and inquire. They'll say, come back tomorrow. You'll have the test in the afternoon. You'll get the results. But obviously, you pay for it, and they'll encourage you to pay more. On the NHS in the UK, the less they can do to you, the better it is. So they won't overprescribe you, as it were. Dino J, I had a porcelain crown done on my top front tooth at the dentist in Central Festive of Pattaya. It was done over 10 years ago. They did a great job, 450 Australian dollars, which is about 125 pounds. Yeah, that is cheap. Yeah, that's very good. Okay, I got you. So you're saying Martin Ryder 3 for dinner at Nando's yesterday, over 100 pounds. That's 4,000 baht. 4,000 baht in Bangkok. You'd get a pretty good meal for 3 people. Stephen James, men usually in denial about health. I'm talking your diabetes, gout, weight, blood pressure, smoking history, booze history. They are just what you told us. No, absolutely. I've got to disagree with that, Stephen. Okay, let's break it down and take each bit by bit. I'm talking about your diabetes. Okay, well, I don't have diabetes. I was recently checked. I had it for a short time when I was very, very much overweight. I did something about it. I lost my weight, and I haven't had diabetes since. So that's not concerning. Actually, it was about 9 days ago I got tested for diabetes, so I don't have it. Gout, I haven't had gout for over 10 years now. I keep medicine. I did have gout. I used to drink red wine and stuff like that, red meat. I used to get gout about every 3 months. Haven't had it for 10 years. So again, that's not an issue. Weight, yeah, that is an issue, but it's not a serious issue right now. I'm not overly obese. I'm a few kilos over, probably 10, 20 kilos, which, okay, you could say I'm obese. But it's, it's something I can do something about it. Blood pressure is normal now. I'm actually monitoring it here. I can give you some of the, I've actually been monitoring it because I'm going back to hospital. So for the last week, we're talking 144 over 91, 120 over 75, 125 over 80, 132 over 81, and today it was 156 over 80, slightly up. So I'm not too worried about that. What else? Smoking, gave up a good 10 years ago. Booze history, well, the body repairs itself quite quickly as long as you do something about it. So I don't think I'm in denial. I think I'm somebody who's looked in the mirror and said, well, that's not good for you smoking, that's not good for you drinking. I've done something about it. I haven't ignored it and thought, I haven't been one of those people who said, well, you've got to die someday. I've done something about it, haven't I? So for me, that's very much not really been in denial. But thanks for your comment. Stephen James, okay, I've just read your comment, right? Toby Price, government hospital saw the doctor for malaria, medication for work, 110 baht for the medication, and seeing the doctor. I mean, that's terrific. That's really good. I don't know any government hospitals around here where I am. Okay, another 40 baht from Give Peace a Chance. Okay, Win Nando's has lost the plot. All right, thank you. William Burns, great show as always. Stay cool, kind, and generous. See you this fall. Okay, yeah, William, look forward to it. Thomas Wynn, give peace a chance. Indeed, you might as well pay a bit extra and go for a better restaurant. Okay. Luke Powell, afternoon, Peter. Hope is well. Yeah, all is well. Let me just put these up for the latecomers here. The pound is doing very well at the moment, 45 baht to the pound. Taxi Talau, how are you doing? Haven't seen you for a while. Let's get your comment up, whatever it says. Hi, Peter. Hope you're well. Have you any trips planned in or around Thailand? Yeah, I mean, you've come in late, Taxi Talau, because that's what I was talking about at the beginning with Marley. She's actually motivating me to get out there now. We've just done the railway market down south, about an hour and a half away. And as I said, then I know a lot of other people have done it, but we've got to put our own spin on it. And yeah, whenever Marley's got a day off, either Tuesday or Wednesday, I'm driving up to Ayutthaya this week. I'd like to film the old city because a lot of people would like to go there. If you know your history of Thailand, Ayutthaya is the old capital before Bangkok. So I'll be doing that next week. But in answer to your question, yeah, I plan to do a lot of out and about filming, which is what I should do because I live in Thailand, right? Let me just get rid of this. Okay. Super Stephen, very well, thank you, very well indeed. Jay Easy, something about the sun and Thai culture. Totally eat better and feel healthier physically and mentally in Thailand. Yeah, I think a lot to do with it. To be honest with you, I think a lot of you might think I'm silly saying this, but I think when you say about the mental thing in Thailand feeling better, I think a lot of to do with it is to de-stress because people smile at you here, don't they? I mean, it's like in your own country. You smile at somebody and think you're either some kind of a pervert or you're a freak. Here, you smile at someone and they smile back at you. And I think the whole ambience of being in Thailand, the smile, land of smiles, I think, it just makes you feel better, doesn't it? And it is nice to have the sun on your back, like you say. Um, Thomas Wynn, you get natural sauna for free in Thailand, okay? Mark, how you doing? Good to have you in. Haven't seen you for a week or two. Soy Devil, right. Hi, Pete. I turned in to watch Marley. I'm so disappointed she's not on. I really thought she was an asset of the live stream. Well, she hasn't gone. She's not dead and buried. She hasn't gone, as it were. We're just, it's Marley's choice as much as mine. I haven't said to Marley, you're not coming onto the streams anymore. We discussed it in detail, and I said, how do you feel about it? And she's not really comfortable with the streams at the moment. So I suggested maybe she could come in and do a guest appearance every sort of month, 6 weeks, something like that. And but we're going to do more of the videos outside because you can edit videos. You can't edit live streams. So she will be here occasionally. I might bring her in next week or the next week after that, but not every other week. I wanted to get out there and do videos. 20 Rothmans. Ayutthaya is amazing. Easily overnight there to see everything. Yeah, again, it's an expense thing because if I stayed overnight, then obviously I'd have to pay a hotel room for Marley as well. So, all joking aside, I know the jokes are going to come in, but that's what would have to happen, and we'll have to try and get it all done in a day. We'll leave here real early, 9. I believe it's about an hour and 20 minutes to get up there, so we'll have a good long day up there. I can come back in the evening. Right. A lot of talk about Nando's tonight. Expat Moscow. Nando's whole chicken 15.25. Ouch, that's expensive. Jess again. Unlike America, where you say hello and get a pepper sprayed. Yeah, do you know what I love watching, Jess? I'm sure it's just as bad in England, but I haven't seen it so much. But it's these Karens in America. They call them Karens, and these self-entitled women. They're unbelievable. Just go onto TikTok or go onto YouTube and just type in, Karens, self-entitled Karens. Karen gets owned, and in America, they're just unbelievable. These women, there was a pizza delivery guy, he went public street, right? He was delivering a pizza, parked his car, and this Karen comes up to him, hammering his way, you can't park here. This is a private space. You don't look like you belong here. And he's like, it's a public street. I'm delivering a pizza, and she's like, no, you can't stop here. I mean, I'm sure it'd be good night Vienna if she did that in the UK. Honestly, they won't put up with it. And then you've only got to sort of blow on them. It's like that's assault, and they fall on the floor. It's like ow, shouting, and the guy hasn't touched her basically. Bloody, winds me up. Conrad Campbell, we're going to the old capital at the end of the month. We're having a week in Bangkok for my birthday. Okay, good stuff. You'll enjoy that. Jay Easy. In Ayutthaya, took a private long-tail boat on the river to visit temples. Highly recommended. The old city relics, nice experience. Well, we'll be on a limited time, and I'm driving up there. So I guess what we'll probably do is we'll head to the old city, and we'll try and get as much of that in. Marley's told me she's going to dress traditionally. She's very good like that, Marley. When we went to Chinatown, she wore all the Chinatown dress, and sometimes, like we go to IT Fortune, she dresses really, really sexy, and people look at us. I'm like, Jesus, So when we went down to the railway, regular Thai people there, I said to her, look, try and dress a little bit more conservative, which she did, but she still looks nice. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to Ayutthaya, and if there's anywhere else you can suggest worth visiting a day trip, then we will. But I'm not going to be doing Koh Larn Island, okay? Right, Nomyo Inspector says, you get older living in Thailand, the heat gets rid of the aches and pains. I don't know, I've got some aches in my knee at the moment, which are peeing me off a little bit. Right, Kev123, sorry, Peter, I disagree when not everyone smiles at you. Okay, you've had some bad experiences. Maybe it's changing a little bit. I mean, yeah, maybe it's changing a little bit for the worse. Yours travels 100%. She is lost in the stream. Better just doing the videos. Okay, so it's a mixed bag here. There's a lot of people saying don't have Marley on the stream. She's better on the videos. She's getting lost here. And other people are saying, oh, I'm gutted. I want to see her in the stream. So, I can't please everybody all the time. There's an old saying, you can please some of the people some of the time, but you can't please all of the people all of the time. And it's absolutely true. So I think for now, I'm going to keep Marley on the videos outside because she's good at that, and the occasional appearance on here. But for me as well, it's easier to do the live stream by myself. I mean, I don't mean to be horrible towards her, but when I'm doing it, it flows more. You know, I can read a comment, discuss it, next one. Get when you're with somebody, especially when you're in a coffee shop somewhere. It's anyway. Martin, there's a good parlor at a Utia bus station. The good thing about the place, just a pile of rocks. Okay. Uh, Okay, maybe you can tell us a story. Something's obviously happened there, Kev. You said, sorry, mean to say, not so many smiles. Okay, there's a lot more than there is in the UK. I can tell you that even now. Mianoi, where's that? Mianoi. Yes, smile at a bird in Thailand. She smiles back. Smile at a bird in girl, right? For those non-UK. Smile at a girl in Thailand. She smiles back. Smile at a girl in the UK. She says, "What you looking at? You fat, ugly bastard." Yeah, absolutely. Uh, um, Dutch Frang, I love your Dutch greediness, Peter. Greediness? Okay. Toby Price, if you did not decide to live in Bangkok, where would you live in Thailand? That's, it's funny enough that subject's come up recently, actually, because I was thinking of moving out of Bangkok, but I think I'm going to stay here because I think you're living in a bubble anywhere else, really. I think I know I've always said Hua Hin, but I didn't have a good experience when I was in Hua Hin last time. For the last couple of years, I've always said if I retired in Thailand, it wasn't in Bangkok, it would be Hua Hin because there's enough there. But you know what? I had a couple of bad experiences over there. They tried to rip me off on the motorbike. The swimming pool place I go to wasn't as great. I just didn't get that vibe. And what I've been enjoying lately is Jomtien. I've always said I didn't really like Patty. I've grown out of it, but I've gone down there a few times since I've been here. Drove down. It's a great easy road. I mean, the road, 29 miles on a highway, turn off and you've got another 19 miles on a highway. It's so easy to get down there. But, I like jumped in. I do like Pattaya now. It's grown on me again. I kind of got sick of it. It's kind of grown on me again. Not the kind of bar scene with all the girls and the screaming and the shouting. I'm not into that anymore. The OK Metro, the Kink, the Lady Love Go-Go Bar. I have done them when I'm there with friends. I do them. Of course I do. Um, but that's not a great attraction to me. I like the beach, I like the food, but saying that now in Jomtien, it just seems to be flooded with Russians. I mean, I'm not a racist, but I don't like the fact that one particular group seems to be kind of taking over the town, involuntary even, just because there's so many of them there. There's like 8,000 in Phuket at the moment. And I'll give you an example. There's a really nice food court halfway down Jumpton in the evening. It's very, very lively. It's got a few stools and tables at the front, big place. There's a false windmill at the front here. You might know it. It's a great place to go and eat. They have like two alleyways of food, like long alleyways, and they serve everything from pizzas to, Italian food to Thai food to everything. And it used to be all English and Thai sound. Well, it's all Russian and Thai now, and a lot of the stores have changed their food to Russian dishes, which I don't particularly know or like. And that's just how it's gone. So I'm not keen on that aspect of things. But in answer to your question, where would you live? I think probably for the moment, probably jumped in. I do like it. But then if I was in jumped in 3 months, maybe I'd get fed up of it. So I don't know. Probably the answer is another area in Bangkok. Paul Hoskins, good evening. Late, but never forgotten. David says plenty of Karens in Australia. Okay, I haven't really seen any of them on YouTube. Most of the Karens I've seen are in America. I'm sure they've got them in England as well. Yeah, I've heard about them. You can get Karen restaurants now. They're the restaurants you go in and they're rude to you, aren't they? They throw the menu at you. Right, Shane, just finished work. What did I miss? Not the best part, Shane. That's all coming up later. Kev, 1236. When I was in Royette, seen some miserable looking people and unfriendly. Royette, the center of the universe. All right. They're still pretty friendly around here anyway. Javier, uh, different mentality in Thailand. They're humble, friendly, and very warm people. Everybody is grumpy and stressed out here at home. Well, the thing I put it down to just worrying about bills and stuff because they don't worry about it too much in Thailand. A lot of the I'm not talking about there's a lot of people with money here in Thailand. There's a lot of rich people in Thailand, who own shitloads. There's Thai guys who drive Porsches and Ferraris around Bangkok. So it's certainly not a poor country, but you still have a lot of people who are on the kind of breadliners where motorcycle taxi boys who drive the motorbikes, people who work in bars, and that nighttime economy thing, but I just don't think they worry about it so much. They don't have money and they think, yeah, I've got to go out and get money, but I don't think it plays on them like in the UK or in the West where it just puts you in that horrible mood all the time. Jess, Right, yep, I can't agree more. The woke, entitled, hateful culture in the USA, not good. So refreshing that Thailand isn't like that. America isn't as bad as it's portrayed online, but man, it does get annoying. I've been to America a couple of times. I quite liked it. I did feel there were certain parts when I was in California. I remember, here's a story for you. I was with a friend and we rented a car and we went to this kind of dodgy area in California. I don't know where it was. It's kind of a Hispanic area, not saying that all Hispanics are bad, but it was that kind of area. And we went to get some petrol, as we call it in the UK, or gas, as they call it in the UK. And the attendant, when we were paying, he says, "Here, you guys aren't from around here, are you?" And we're like, well, English accent. We're like, "No." And he says, you better get out of here. It's not safe. And you kind of think, really, what's going on here? And that was like 6 o'clock in the evening. Thai Billy Boy. In the UK, when I walk in the park, if you smiled at someone, they would probably call the police. But if I walk my dog, everyone smiles, stops, and talk. I know a guy. Well, I don't know him. I knew of him. I knew a guy in the UK who got a dog, and he especially got this dog. And this is no bull. He got this really cute looking dog because he was out trying to chat up women, to try and get a girlfriend. He was never successful with girls. So what he did, he got this really cute looking dog, and he used to take it in the park every afternoon, evening, and all these women would stop and go, "Oh, look at him, isn't he lovely?" But he still never got a girlfriend, so it didn't do him a lot of good. But he had a lot of women say hello to the dog. In my lifetime, thinking to come into Bangkok in November to December. How can I find some good place to stay on monthly rental, clean but not too expensive? Um, well, the problem is in November, December, it's high season, so nowhere is cheap. I'll give you an example for a hotel, for instance. Okay, the Flipper House on Soy 7. If you book a room in there now, you'll pay 900 baht a night. That'll include breakfast. Lovely little hotel, clean rooms. You book it November, December, you'll pay 1,500 baht. So, nearly double. Not quite double, but nearly double. Agoda, bookings.com, there's no sort of secret about it. There's no magic formula. You just go onto those hotel booking sites. You can't really book a condo if you're going less than a year. Most of the condos, like this apartment where I live, it's a year's lease, and it's very tricky to get anything at these kind of prices for under a year. It's like in the UK, they want to make sure you're not going to wreck the place after 3 months and leave. The other option is Airbnb, isn't it? Something like that. Peter, I can't pronounce your name, so I'm going to have to put it up. I wish you would write your name in English so I could actually say hello to you. Peter, speaking of which, Mogadishu is awash with Karens. They literally do my head in. Where's that? Mogadishu? Really? Really? Wow. Um, right, Nomia Inspector. Over 3,000 instead of two, get a smile. Offer three, offer 3,000 instead of two to get a smile. Okay, you're saying smile at more people to get smiles back. Fair enough. Lumpini Live, thank goodness Bud Light. That's the one. Bud Light leading a revolt against woke nonsense. Good stuff. Um, Martin Ryder says, "Is there any parlours in Mogadishu?" Richard, haha, Peter, Uh, what the ham and eggs is a good night Vienna. Okay, well, good night Vienna, yeah, it's a kind of English slang thing. So basically, it's like, imagine you got into an argument with somebody and he was getting on your nerves, and eventually you came into a fight and you went bang and you knocked him out. You'd say, "Good night Vienna." I mean, he's out of it basically. So when somebody uses that term, "Good night Vienna," it means end of the story. He's gone, done and dusted. 20 Rothmans. My Thai friends stay at Jomtien. They're posh and a bit embarrassed about Pattaya. Well, I mean, I don't know why they're embarrassed. Maybe embarrassed to go in there. Richard, good night, Vienna. I'm surprised a lot of people haven't heard of that saying, good night, Vienna. Um, Okay, Kev, remember, not all Thais like Farang, so why would they smile at you? Okay, so look, fair point. I mean, not every single Thai person in Thailand is going to smile back at you, but compared to the West, I would say, let me just take a ballpark figure. I'd say for every 10 people, if I went out now or in the day and I smiled at 10 Thai people, I would say quite comfortably 8 people would smile back at me. I'm quite confident of that, right? Whereas in the UK, if I went out and smiled at 10 people, I'm quite confident that if I was lucky, one might smile back at me, but probably nobody would. Um, okay, Martin, Russian food, cabbage soup, cabbage salad, cabbage ice cream. I think they've kind of moved on a little bit from there, Martin, but get the point. Yoz, I think the best balance is if you move about, not to be stuck in one place, paying a 12 contract on rent and bills, split it up with 4 destinations as you can rent on a 3 months contract. More exciting. Yeah, that's okay if you're a bit of a traveler, if you're coming here short term and your base is still in the UK. But when you live here, this is my home now. Everything I've got, well, not everything. I've got stuff in the UK, but everything I've got, personal stuff, and I mean, this is my home. Everything's here. I've just bought a freezer this week, a little chest freezer. I've got an oven. I've got a 55-inch screen TV. I bought various bookshelves and boxes and cases and things for the kitchen, and I don't want to be wrapping that up every 3 months. And I got a nice place here, but I think I'm going to have to leave here in December. I told you, didn't I? I told you the story about the guy. He's got the same apartment as me, 20,000 a month. His lease come to the end, and they wanted to put it up from 20,000 to 38,000. Quite rightly, he said, like, up yours, we're moving out, and he moved out. He's now paying 23,000 for a non. He's got a high up floor. I think he said 23rd floor, and in non. Good views across the city. So I don't really want to leave here. This has been a great initial home for me. I moved in here before I finalized my house, as it were, before I sold my house, and I've been quite comfortable here. And it's a nice place, and it's got a washing machine and a balcony, and it's in town. And frankly speaking, I'd like to stay here. But if she comes back and says, we're going to put it up 5,000, I'll bite the bullet for another year, and I'll pay the 25. But if she said anything more than that, I'll just say no, I'm moving. And there's plenty of apartments. If I have to move further down the line, even I'll do it. I mean, there's no point wasting money. It's just I've got to the point now in my life where I can't live in a room. When I was younger, if I had a nice sizable room with a bathroom en suite sort of thing, that was enough for me. But when you get to my age, you want a little bit of comfort in your life. And I've worked hard all my life. Why should I live in one room? Unless I get locked up, then I've got no choice. Right, Jeremy, good to have you in. Jeremy, how you doing? Quick question for you and all of the Thailand experts. I'm not a Thailand expert. The UK website says that you need a visa to enter Myanmar. This is required for a border run when you just cross for an hour or so. Yeah, Jeremy, when you leave, cross a border, you've left the country, so you need a visa, a tourist visa, to go into Myanmar, and you'll need a visa to get back into Thailand. So if you come in on a 30-day visit, a 30-day visa, and you go, I'm not sure if your visa hasn't. I'm not sure how it works if your visa hasn't expired. I'm not sure if you'd need one of those, what do they call it? The one where you can come and go, multiple entry, because it's not really a visa. When you come in on a tourist, they call it a visa, but it's actually a visa exempt stamp. It means you can come into the country for a month to have a holiday, but you haven't got a visa. It's a visa exempt. So, but in answer to your question, border run. When you cross a border, you have officially left that country of residence, because that's the whole point of having a border, isn't it? So I'd check that very, very carefully, Jeremy. Really look into that one. I know guys who've been caught with their pants down, literally, where I knew guys who've had they've had retirement visa. They got a retirement visa for 15 months was the first one. Been here 4 months, so I've got to go back to the States for whatever. Went back thinking I've still got 13 months of my retirement visa left. And when they come in, they get a tourist visa, and they're basically saying, well, I've got a retirement visa. Why have I got a 30-day stamp? And the reason being is because it's cancelled. Once you leave, it gets cancelled unless you've got a multiple entry stamp. Very, very important. If you get a retirement visa, you must get that multiple entry stamp if you intend to leave the country. Now, I got a multiple entry stamp. Cost me about $5,500 through an agent to facilitate it, because I had to go back to the UK and sell my house. But I won't be going back to the UK now, so I won't get a multiple entry stamp this year when it's due. Okay, right. Okay. I don't know if you can hear that coming through my headset. Somebody sent me messages through line on my PC here. I don't think he realizes I'm on a stream. Right, last one was yours, wasn't it? T-Money, I have a Karen in my neighborhood. What a nightmare. Yeah, I can imagine they could ruin your whole lifestyle. I couldn't put up with them. I'd probably knock her lights out and get jailed for it. Paul Hoskins, I always wear a mask at the bar so that I don't scare the girls. Okay. Luxury vegan travel, but price of the hotels have really increased in Thailand over the last several months. From my experience, I was there for 3 months. Yeah, everything's going up. Oh, wow. Thomas, good morning, Peter, from Niagara Falls, Canada. Yeah, good morning to you, Thomas. Good to have you in Niagara Falls. That'd be a place I'd like to visit. Hi, Peter. Better late than never. Absolutely, Jeremy. Absolutely. I hope you remember because you're not a member, are you? I can't say no. You could have come in on in the member stream. We've got the Ladyboy competition. We've got the manga minute. We got some stuff that I'm going to talk about that I wouldn't talk about out here. You know what it's like. Same sort of stuff as last week. Right. I won't say anything more than that. Right, Paul Hoskins, I have a drink, a few beers first before saying hello to the girls. Prior 9, even Peter, great stream, buzzing to get back to Thailand in December. How's the cap, by the way? The cap, what the somebody have a go at me again. Some guy, I wear this cap. It's the North Face. It's white. It says the North Face, and obviously I bought it on Sukhumvit for a couple $100, so it's not real. I don't care. It's just a cap. It could say like, I've got a giant pair of coconuts on the top of it. I wouldn't give a shit. I didn't buy it because it says the North Face. I bought it because it fits. Because I got a big head like a melon. Look at it. And some guy, wrote, "Oh, dump that cap. Do you sleep in it?" Some guy wrote to me this week, and he says, not only is that a fake cap, but he said that is the Karen letters, right, capitalized, right. That is the most fake North Face cap that I've ever seen in my life. Like he's seen like 1,000 fake North Face. I mean, for God's sake, get a life, I say. Jeremy again. Quick question for you. Oh, we've read that already, haven't we? Right. I'll surprise you now, Martin. You said, I used to walk around Bangkok with no underpants under my shorts, got plenty of smiles from the girls. Right. You might not believe this, but in Thailand, they've got some strange laws, right? You can look this up. I'm not having you on. It's actually illegal to leave your house without any underwear on. Did you know that? If you go out wearing, I go out wearing shorts sometimes because what happens is I want to nip over to 7-Eleven. When I sit in the apartment, I don't have the aircon on. I just have some fans going, and I've got some kind of these kind of beach shorts that I wouldn't be seen dead in on the beach because they're all palm trees and flowery, right? But in the apartment when no one's here, I wear them because they're really thin. I'm wearing nothing else. But the problem is you walk about, everything's swinging around. You'd see it if you walked outside. So I've got a pair of cargo shorts. I'll whack them on. I don't put any underwear on. I'm only going to walk across to the other side of the road there. So I don't bother putting underwear on. But it's actually illegal if you get caught. I don't know how they'd catch you, but if you're in an accident or something, you weren't wearing underwear when they cut off your pants, then you could get prosecuted. Weird, isn't it? Kev said the Brazilian women have great smiles. Always wanted to go to Brazil and also South America. Never got round to doing it. I'm too old now. I'll probably never do it, but I've always wanted to do it. Right, the Burton channel. I agree with you, Peter. Yeah, I did. Before I read your comment, I did take on board what you said today. You said about at the beginning. I always say I talk about everything Thailand. You were saying, you should mention about the Philippines, and I did actually make a reference to that on the. I record the stories today, Saturday, for next Saturday. So when you listen to the stories next Saturday, I do refer to what you said at the beginning of next week's stories, if that makes sense. Right, now I shall read your comment out. I agree with you, Peter. There are more friendly here in Canada. In Canada, people would think I'm crazy smiling at them, but in New Zealand, people were very friendly. Yeah, okay. Well, here's another scenario, and this is true because I've experienced this many, many times. So, in England, for instance, if you can go into a pub like a bar on your own, but a lot of guys will go and they'll take a newspaper in with them. They'll order a pint of lager and they'll sit at the end of the bar and they'll read the. Nowadays, I suppose they look at their phone, but some guys still buy their newspaper. Nobody looks at you weird in England if you do that. I used to do that. My wife and kids were living in one town. I was opening a business in another town 60 miles away, and I'd moved temporarily away from them to set this business up. And I had a shop, like a secondhand DVD, videos, that sort of thing, just ticking over. It didn't do great, but I didn't lose. And what I used to do, I used to lock up the shop about 5:30, 6. I used to get back, and I'd go in the pub every night, which was near enough across from the house I was renting at the time. I'd go in and have 2 or 3 pints of lager. I'd read the news, the local Evening Telegraph in Northamptonshire where I live. I'd go in and have a couple of pints, 3 beers, 2 lagers, 3 lagers, go through the newspaper because I was living by myself. That'd take me up to about 9 o'clock. I'd come out, I'd either go and get fish and chips or a Chinese, or I'd go home and have a sandwich or a bowl of cereal, whatever it was. And then I'd go to bed about 10:30, 11, and I'd go to work the next day. So why am I talking about that? What were we talking about there? About people being friendly? Yeah. So my point of telling you, totally lost it there. So the point of telling that story is, yeah, you can go into a bar in the UK and you can read a newspaper, have a beer at the bar. Nobody will think anything of it. But the moment you start talking to the guy on the next stall, that's when people start to look, what's this guy up to? What's his game? Is he a scammer? Is he homosexual? Is he trying something on? And that's something I found in Thailand. You can absolutely do. I've mentioned this lots of times. one of my best friends here in Thailand. I met him in a bar one afternoon on Soi 4. I went in there in the afternoon, came back from Pantit Plaza, had a drink, got talking to him. He became one of my best friends. We went out 6 nights a week, 5 nights a week. You just can't do that in the UK anymore, unfortunately. Right, I won't read that one out, Paul. Yoz, they do a 60-day tourist visa online, then extend 90, then do your border run. Yeah. I know you can do 90 days. Not sure if you can do a border run after that. I've never tried to do it, so I'll take your word for it. Okay, right. Jeremy, sorry, Peter. I meant to enter Myanmar, not to re-enter Thailand. Well, Myanmar's a separate country, isn't it, Jeremy? So you would need some kind of a visa. You can't just, if you're in Thailand, you can't just wander over the border into Myanmar without any kind of visa, because although it's next door, it's like, well, I was going to say it's like us going to France, but of course you can do that, can't you now? Well, can you now? Because we're out the Euro. Okay, it's getting complicated, but yeah, it's another country. Right, in my lifetime. Thanks for your comment. You mentioned Airbnb. Is that option recommendable for Thailand? Are the apps rented out by locals or foreigners at home? Probably. It's a bit of a, yeah, Airbnb. They kind of tried to ban it here in Bangkok because what was happening is like a block of like an apartment. Like, there are lots of apartment builders, obviously in Bangkok. Space is a premium, so it all goes up rather than out these days. And there were people who were they'd buy their apartment, like this apartment, for instance, where I am now, one bedroom apartment. It's a real quiet block. And what had happened is they'd put it on Airbnb and people were coming in, they're having wild parties. Because, if you go away and you rent somewhere for a week, you don't give a shit about the neighbors, do you? Because, I mean, personally, I would, but most people don't, right? So you go into a block of flats, you invite all your friends, you get some drinks, you put some loud music on. Well, you've got regular people who have got to get up for work the next morning. Thai people, foreigners, they get up at 7 o'clock to go to work for 8 o'clock, and these Airbnb, they're on holiday, they're partying, they get out of the nightclubs at 3 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning, they arrive at 4, a couple of hours music and drinks. Well, they were becoming a real nuisance. So what happened is a lot of the apartment builders were putting up signs, no Airbnb, this is not an Airbnb. So it's actually a bolder contention because it still goes on here in Thailand, but it's not, a lot of the especially the Thais, they're really against it, so be careful when you book try and do some reviews of where you want to stay. Personally, there is a lot of deals to be had out there, especially, you can rent, um, there's a lot of hotels who offer monthly deals, and if you went to them and said, look, I'm going to stay for 3 months or 2 months, they'd bite your hand off. They're hotel rooms, but they're very much reduced. I know in Pattaya, for instance, there's places you can rent for kind of 6,000 to 8,000 baht a month, and they're nice rooms. So you just got to do your homework. Luxury vegan travel. Peter, if you have Thailand on a 30-day visa and no border run, let me read that again. Peter, if you leave Thailand on a 30-day visa and do a border run, when you come back, you will be issued a new 30-day visa exempt. Rules if you travel by non-air, but if you fly, no restrictions. Be very, very careful on that. I'll tell you why. The law is twice now. They won't do it more than twice. I actually read out a comment or a story a couple of weeks ago. There's a guy who he had his apartment in Jomtien, or his long-time hotel room, and everything he owned, not everything he owned, but everything he had in Thailand was in this apartment in Jomtien, and he'd done a couple of these border runs, and he flew out to Malaysia thinking when he come back in, he could come back in on another 30 days, and they refused him entry. They basically said no. So he went back to Malaysia. All his stuff is here in Thailand. He doesn't know if or when he can come back in. And so you've got to be really careful of that. In the old days, I know guys who used to live here, and they did it every month. They just go out and do a border run. They get a month when they come back in. Nobody gives a shit. It was that kind of place. But now, the immigration's really clamped down, and you want to check it out and be really careful, because I know now that they don't allow more than 2 border runs now. So you can come in on a 30-day, maybe extend it 30-day, and then do 2 more border runs. But more than that, you're really risking, not being allowed back into the country. Alan edited. How you doing? You haven't missed much yet. We've got another 15 minutes, and then I'll be back with a member stream 30 minutes after that. Jeremy, is it your birthday? Happy birthday to me. How young are you? That picture's dreadful. I've actually met Jeremy. We've gone for lunch together in my favorite Indian restaurant, Al Hussein, or it's Arabic, whatever. And he doesn't look anything like that. I mean, you want to change that picture, Jeremy? It looked bloody awful. Shane Old Traveller. It's all in the member stream. Yeah, we can talk about anything there. Martin Ryder says, "Beware of the Bangkok underwear police." Yeah, I mean it's a standing joke, is it? How would they know you're not wearing underwood? But it is in the it's in the statute books. You know, it's in the Royal Gazette. It's against the law to go out not wearing underpants. Did anybody hear about that German guy? He must have been on meths or something. He was walking naked on the beach in front of kids and everything. He must be mad. He was in Central Patio. It wasn't jumped in, and he was naked. And you know these guys who rent out the jet skis and stuff, they were shouting at him. You know, put your pants on, and he was ignoring them. The police came, and if he'd turned around and said, "Oh, you know, I thought it was a nudist. I'm on holiday. I didn't know. I'm really sorry. Let me put my shorts on. I apologise. Never again." They'd have just patted him on the back and said, "Don't do it again." And he'd have been on his way. But no, another dickhead in Thailand. What does he do? He's like, "No, you know, we got nudist beaches in Germany, and I'm not wearing anything if I don't want to." And there's kids running around. You know, well, you know what happened? They forced a pair of shorts on him, and he got arrested. No doubt he got deported. But what a dickhead, you know, really. Crypto Chris, is it called the commando law? Well, that's what they call it. That's what they say, isn't it? When you go out without underwear, so I'm going commando. But yeah, I don't know what the law's called. Jim, I'm going to buy the same North Face cap and wear it the next time we visit Ruby Murray. Well, if you're wondering what Ruby Murray is, that's Cockney slang for curry. Ruby Murray curry, plates of meat, feet. I don't know, flute, boat race, face. You know, Cockney rhyme. Yeah, okay, that'll be funny if you do that. We can both wear a fake North Face hat. Right. I'm going to call you No Name, okay? Because I can't keep saying I can't read your name, so I'm going to call you No Name, okay? No Name, Martin Ryder. Incidentally, I've never been a fan of brassicas, as in cabbage, broccoli, etc. Okay, me neither, actually. Uh, okay, not not everybody's going to be going out with no underwear when they come over this time. Peter, Mark V, Peter, hello. Take off your shirt. It's not a pretty sight, Mark. Not a pretty sight. Right. R68 DVR. Hello, Peter. I was the tall, dark, and handsome idiot waving to you on Soy 4 earlier this week. Thanks for all the tips. Have you channel? Love you, channel. Oh, Ken. Yeah, hi. I wasn't sure, you know, because I had somebody with me on the back, didn't I? I went down Soy 4 and I heard somebody shouting. I've had this quite a lot actually, and you know, I don't know if it's somebody shouting like, "You idiot! You shouldn't be on YouTube. If I ever catch you, I'll make sure you never have." You know, I wasn't sure if it was one of them or it was somebody who actually wanted to say hi. But you did look quite friendly. I drove by and I just caught you, you know, shouting, and I was like, "Who's that?" And I couldn't really stop because Soy 4 was going at speed. But yeah, good to see you. I mean, if you ever bump into me again and I'm on foot, stop me and we'll have a chat. I met another guy. He was really polite actually, and I felt really bad when I did the live stream of Marley 2 weeks ago. I was live. Marley was sitting here or here, can't remember. But anyway, he came up to me. He said, "Oh, I watch his channel." I'm like, "I'm on a live stream, mate." And he went, "Yeah, yeah, no problem." He went away, and I felt really bad. I thought, "Oh shit," you know, I was really abrupt with him. I should have brought him on, and you know. But anyway, he wrote a comment to me and said, "Look, I'm really sorry I interrupted you on your live stream." Blah blah blah. And I said, "No worries. It was, you know, thanks for saying hello and stuff." But yeah, it's, you know, it might sound like a cliche, corny, but I really like it when I get to meet people, especially viewers. I mean, some guys I've had a good laugh with, like Jim, for instance. You know, I had dinner with, we had a couple of hours. We only met once, but he's a nice guy. Jesse, you know, I had a load of games of pool with Jesse out there. Who else? I only remember the names as I see them on screen. But yeah, you know, there's a lot of, you know, when I meet, sometimes I can't always meet some people and they get annoyed when they think I'm avoiding them, and I'm not. But you know, I've met a lot of nice people here on this channel, and it's, you know, it's introduced me to a lot of some people have become friends, you know, good friends. Um, Ross Ross Dwong's Broken Spirit. The Gene Hackman was great in Unforgiven. Okay, all right. Uh, Jeremy says, "Does it matter if your underpants have holes in them?" I wonder if you could get away with just wearing the elastic band. You know, the elastic band at the top of your underwear, like hack away everything else and just wear that white band and go into the police station. Say, "Does this count?" You know, have the old fella swinging around in the heat, as it were. Getting a bit low on this conversation now. Kev, uh, you can stay in you can stay in most South American countries up to 90 days without a visa, and very early after that you get a visa. I hear the Philippines is very good for giving out long-term visas. They're not really strict. They encourage tourism. They don't make it difficult. That's what I heard. Steve, yeah, yours travels. Yes, you can do 60 days online visa, then 30-day extension at immigration, leave and reapply for 60 days, then 30 days extension, giving you 180 days. That will allow per calendar year. You got it all worked out, hence your 6 month there, Steve. Yeah, and if you apply in your own country now to the Thai embassy, they don't even want your passport anymore. They send you a sticker that you just put in your passport. Paul Hoskins, I have 9 pairs of shorts on holiday, one a day. Then after 6 days, I go to the laundry. Then that lasts until I go home. Fair enough, Paul. Fair enough. Steve again. They don't like you doing more than 2 border runs, but you can do 3 if spaced far apart. I just wouldn't risk it, Steve, because I know people who have been stopped on the third one. To be honest with you, I don't know why people say that. To be honest with you, it's like you normally lie all the time, and you're now going to tell the truth, isn't it? I just don't think. I think it all depends on the immigration officer you deal with it on the day. You know, if he's in a great mood and he had his leg over last night and he had a great breakfast, he'll probably stamp you and get you through. But if his missus has been on his back last night, you know, for more money that he hasn't got, and she's, you know, not let him have his ways, as it were, and he's in a terrible mood, and you come through the immigration, then he can let off a little bit of his steam, can't he, and say, "No, you're not coming in, Mr. Farang." Right, Nick, how you doing? Good to have you in. Mark. In America, we have pride parades, and people bring their children, and there's a bunch of naked men everywhere, and cops turn a blind eye. I know, I know. Dare I say anything? Dare I say anything? I daren't. I daren't. But you know what I'm thinking. Deke the trucker, how you doing? I haven't seen you for a while. Hi, Peter. Hope you're well, mate. I arrive in 47 days' time. Well, I hope to meet up with you, D. I do sort of bounce between here and Pattaya. If you want to meet up, normally Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday is better for me. Weekends is I don't do weekends generally because Saturday I work really long hours doing this, and then Sunday I try to take off. I'm going over to Simon's for a bit of roast dinner tomorrow. I've got a car; it's 30 minutes, but I go over on the bike if it's not going to rain. I do enjoy going over on the scooter. They're quite fast, these scooters. You know, I've got I bought it brand new for 70,000 baht, which is about it's about 1,500–1,600 pounds, nothing, right? And it's not the 125, it's just 160. It's quite good fun, you know. When I go over to Simon's, the highway's really good, and you know it'll go up to 100 kilometers, 100, just over 100, but it's nice. I've always enjoyed bikes. Right, no name. I've never been to Thailand or its culture, nor have I any intention of traveling there. I'm just a single bloke that likes to watch you talk about stuff. Well, that's fair enough. I was smiling because you said I've never been to Thailand or its culture, and I've never got any intention of going there. And I'm like, well, you know, this is the channel's called Thailand Bam. We're talking about Thailand, but you kind of validated yourself at the end there, so well done. Right, Martin Ryder. For the benefit of non-members, what exactly do for the benefit of non-members, what exactly did you do on your drunk rampage 2 weeks ago? Me, Martin, drunk rampage? Never. Oh. I can't talk about it, Martin. I can't because it involves other people that I don't want to talk about outside the members area. But suffice to say, I ended up drinking a whole bottle of whiskey, having a bit of a knees up on soy 7, and giving up drinking after that. So it was quite a wild night. I went into detail in the members stream last week, and I'm not doing it to wind you up. It's just that certain things I said I don't want to talk about in a public forum, okay? Because I just don't want it to get back to certain people, okay? That's the only reason. That's the whole point of having a member stream, isn't it? You can talk, you know, I can bring people in, I can talk about things that I wouldn't talk about normally, and it's kind of a bit of a community. I'm not being a snob. It's like, well, you're right there and we're in here. It's none of that. It's just, it is what it is, and it was a wild. Put it this way, I don't want to repeat a night like that for ever again, ever again. Um, I'm just laughing thinking about that night. Jeez, I was the king of soy 7 Pattaya that night, and then I was a idiot with a headache the next morning. Right, Thailand clucker. Peter, do you know the Cockney rhyming word kettle and why it's used for? What is it? Yeah, kettle is. Oh my God, hang on. Cockney rhymes on kettle. I'll have to look it up on Google. It's funny you should say that because actually I was thinking about that particular word last week. I'll tell you what, let's do it now while everyone's watching. Cockney rhyming word kettle. Okay. Kettle and hob watch. Ah, yeah, kettle. So basically, that's a different description there. So basically, a kettle is a watch. I don't know why, because it doesn't rhyme. But do you know why I remember that? It was because I used to watch Minder, Arthur Daly, Terry McCann, and all that. And the one episode he was selling the watches, dodgy watches, and he called them kettles. He was like, "Here, Terence, look at this kettle." Yeah. But I do know a lot of other words like boat race, his face, whistle and flute, suit. Um, milk and honey, money. There's a lot of Cockney rhyme, but that one just slipped my mind. But now we all know, right? Steve the Butcher never wore any in Patia. That's underwear, I take it. I think they do turn a blind eye in Patia. I think you're not allowed to not wear a shirt as well in Thailand. You're not allowed to go bareback, and a lot of people. When they go running and stuff, they don't like it, the ties, but they kind of turn a blind eye to it. You know, like in the West, it's nothing to just go out in a pair of shorts and have your upper half body naked. But I do believe it's actually you're supposed to wear a shirt in Thailand when you go out. Um, if you ever go out with a girl here in Thailand, I don't think it's law, but I don't know if you ever noticed Thais don't show emotion in the street. They don't kiss and cuddle and hug. It's just not done here. It's all done behind closed doors. And I'm not saying you'll get arrested for like snogging your girlfriend on Sukhumvit Road, but it's not really the done thing if you want to be respectful here in Thailand. Um, I mean, I remember a couple of months ago, I was walking down Sukhumvit Road, and you know the Landmark Hotel, just before you get to Soi 4, they've got a kind of terraced area at the front where you can sit and have a beer. And there was a guy there, and he was sitting right Sukhumvit Road, all the traffic coming down, everybody walking down, and he had no socks and shoes on, no sandals, nothing, bare feet, and he was sitting in his chair with his feet up here, with the palms of his feet like pointing down Sukhumvit Road. And I looked at him, I thought, you prick. You know, I mean, nobody said anything to him, but you know, you just don't do stuff like that while you're here. It's so disrespectful. Me annoy. Thai Embassy London, don't even send a sticker. You get the visa on an A4 sheet and just print it off. Well, they must have changed it then, because I had a friend who actually got a sticker. So they've obviously worked out the stickers were too expensive. That didn't last for long, did it? One good thing about the Philippines, most people can understand English. Yeah, that is a true point. That is probably one of the only good points. Um, Paul, no, never, ever. Would you consider having your own bar? Oh no, never. You know, it's the last thing I want to do is be another bar owner in Thailand. You know, and be a drunk and have to listen to drunk fat foreigners every night and deal with shit. Who wants to do that? You know, I've come here to enjoy life, not to, you know, listen to shitty stories. When people are drunk, they think they're funny, don't they? Like I probably did, but. Um, Right, the reason so long to read out, 'cause a lot of people are talking to each other. Hansel and Gretel kettle. Okay, yeah. Right, geezers, how you doing? Hi, Peter. North London in the house, but for long, soon to be your neighbour. Can't wait, Peter, to touch down in Bangkok for good. You were my neighbour. You were my neighbour, Jason, but you might not be my neighbour after December because I might have to move because they're getting greedy with the rents. Uh, Okay, a lot of this Cockney rhyme coming in now. Max Vite, kettle and hob equals fob watch. Okay, in my life, sorry, a different question. What live stream software do you use, and do you use a poster behind you or a green screen? It's a green screen, which you can change in virtually a second. Look, I can just, you know, if I wanted to do something, I could just do that, right? And there we are, we have a different one. In answer to the other question, there's a lot of different streaming softwares you can use out there. I use something called StreamYards. I actually pay for a subscription. It's not a lot. It's about 100 and something dollars a year, but you know, you can do a lot of things with it. You can put up you know, nice backgrounds, and you know, you can put like this. You can put comments up there and do lots of things. Okay, and let me know when your YouTube channel starts. I'll check it out. Right, me and I can't stand blokes who are topless in a restaurant. No, I don't like that either. Um, yours. Uh, the younger generation of Thai girls are fine, showing affection in public. It's more than the elders do now. Yeah, I suppose it's all down to things like smoking and tattoos as well, isn't it? The girls wouldn't do either, but they do nowadays. Okay, we're coming up to the hour and a half notch in about a couple of minutes. Let me just try and get a few more comments in. Mike Braithwaite, it's the same in Vietnam. No public display of affection. It's respectful, isn't it? A lot of it, you know, people a little do it if it's not the law, but a lot of the times I'm old-fashioned. You know, I'm respectful. I wouldn't do things like, you know, sit there with the palms of my feet, the soles of my feet showing. It's just, you know, it's just disrespectful here in Thailand. You don't do it. Some people don't give a shit, you know, but I'm not them. Um, Right, Gorman23. Hi, Peter. Do you know the name of that girl in your thumbnail? She is incredible. I can't even remember which one it is. I do so many thumbnails, and people accuse me of clickbait. I suppose it is, but we all like to look at a pretty woman, don't we? Um, You'll be surprised how many people write to me and say, "Can I get the line ID of that picture of the girl?" Like I know every single one of them. Like I've got my own harem here. I haven't. I wish I had the numbers of some of them myself. Um, and they're not all Thai. Some of them are South Korean, some are Japanese. I don't think they have to be Thai. Pretty girl. I mean, who doesn't like to look at a pretty girl? Um, Maybe somebody who's gay, but then he'll like to look at a pretty boy, wouldn't he? Right. Okay, I think we're done and dusted there. Mike Braithwaite is the same in Vietnam. Okay, Donald Trump, are you going to move to Patty Peter? No, I don't think so. I don't think I am going to move. I can't call you Donald Trump. I was going to say I don't think so, Mr. Trump, but no, I don't think so. I don't think so. Patty is a very Bangkok's a very vibrant city, isn't it? You're in the middle of everything, and it's so easy to go elsewhere. I've got a car, and it's easy to branch out. Right, okay, guys, that's it. To members. A lot to talk about in the members screen. I've got the Monga Minute. I've got the Ladyboy competition. I've got a couple of stories that are out this week that are quite interesting. That's in about 15 minutes. I hope you can join me. A lot of members now. I hope you can join me. And yeah, thanks for everyone else who's been in the stream tonight. Like I say, if you that railway video, I'm going to release it to the members tomorrow, and I'll release it to everybody else on Wednesday. That's with Marley. Okay. So guys, if you're members, I'll see you in 15 minutes. If not, thanks for being here, and I'll catch the rest of you next week. Good night, guys. All I want, all I want.